Howdy, my name is Nolan T. Painter, and in today's video I would like to discuss the topic of how a good woman, like a genuinely good woman, will be constant in her love for you. Now, keep in mind, constant doesn't mean consistent. There will be times where we will fall short, and that's okay. We will make mistakes. We will be preoccupied in our own feelings and our own consumption, and we need to understand that. So let me address a couple definitions before I go into too much detail. So love. What does it mean for her to have this constant love? What is this love? Well, to love means she has to have you as her number one priority. The same way a man will sacrifice everything, and regardless of how he feels, he will put her on a pedestal and love her. She must do the same for him. Regardless of however she's feeling, during loss, during happiness, he must be the priority and must be the thought. And she must be thinking of him on such a deep level that she can appreciate each and every one of his actions. This is only ascertainable if you are at the third tier of awareness. If you haven't watched that yet, I strongly suggest you do. But if you don't know, the idea is that there's multiple tiers of awareness, and this third tier is this perfect tier where you are completely aware of your emotions, others' emotions, so you can be empathetic, and then you're familiar with the consequences, and so on. So an example would be like, you want to text a girl because you like her, but she's kind of like ignoring you. So the average person, the average bloke, would just keep on texting her and not realize that she's ignoring him. The second tier would be, oh, the guy's texting her but realizes she's ignoring her, or she's ignoring him, so he would try ignoring her to teach her a lesson, right? Thinking, oh yeah, I'm realizing that she's ignoring me, so I'm going to teach her a lesson. And then the third tier would be going, yeah, okay, she might be ignoring me, but I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to do what I care, and I'm going to not give up and be caring regardless, and offer my time because I'm going to take the hit. I'm going to be humble and take the hit to be honest, right? That would be the third tier. It's almost like coming back to that first level, except you have so much more understanding. So I digress anyways. She must be able to do that. So that means, let's say you're a third tier awareness man, you're a good man, and you come in and you do a bunch of amazing things for her. And that can be in all regards, right? Like, I'm not talking just getting her flowers. I'm not talking just taking her to a date. I'm not talking just walking down the beach with her or laying with her in bed. I'm talking you're breathing properly, you're holding yourself properly, you're holding yourself accountable, you're shutting down your emotions that influence the way you think, you're just being genuine, you're just being led by love, you're taking hits, you're taking sacrifices, you're texting even when she doesn't feel like texting you, you're doing anything you can, you're upholding yourself, you're talking while you're listening. And if she's truly a good woman, she will love you so much that she will realize all the little things. Because life's not just about the big things, it's about all the little things, right? Every big journey starts with a couple little steps. So all those little steps that you're doing throughout your relationship need to be recognized in order for her to be a good woman, right? And let me establish before I continue, for her to be a good woman, you must be a good man. And I pray that every man ascertains the level of being a good man, so such that he may be deserving of a good woman. So in this scenario where we want a good woman, let's just establish that we are already a good man and we already do all these things, which ultimately is not the case, but if we want it to be true, then we need to work towards that. So in this scenario where we are a good man, we need this good woman. She needs to recognize us. She needs to love us to the point where she can have that third tier of awareness where there's recognition. And let me tell you the consequences of if this is not the case. If you are a man who is at this third tier of awareness and she's at the second or first tier, she will not appreciate all the little things you're doing and not fully understand how much you love her. And that will result in her having a bit of a disconnect to you. And what that means is you'll need to explain yourself more often. And because you're explaining yourself, you're being drawn away. And because you're explaining yourself, she will be less inclined to explain herself. And if this woman truly loves you, a good woman, she will explain herself all the time because she knows how reassuring it is for a man to hear the words of his woman. There is nothing more reassuring than hearing the words of your loved one and not needing to ask for them. Throughout my life and all the people I've ever hung out with and tried to aspire to be a good man with, and especially this one person who I've truly worked towards to be this good man, each time I'm battling for both of us, and they are not battling for anyone. Because I am trying to be this third tier of awareness, and they are not. So what happens is you have someone who's fighting, like this saying, like, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. I'm scratching both of our backs, and they're not scratching anyone's back, right? I'm putting in the work for both of us. I'm shutting myself down. I'm doing all the little things. I'm making all the right decisions to try and make this perfect harmony, and this woman isn't. So it's at the point where I need to talk for this woman, right? I'll ask, how are you feeling? Oh, I don't know. Actually, I do know how you're feeling. I'll talk for you, right? A good woman will never have that happen to you, because a good woman will study you and know exactly what you want. The same way a man will spend hours writing down, noting, studying, memorizing everything the girl wants, right? How does she want you walking? How does she want you presenting? How does she want you dressing? How should you be breathing? How should eye contact be? How should you hold her? How should you be with her? How should you be with her family? What music does she like? When do you like it when does she like it when you play the music? How loud should it be? How fast should you be driving? All these things, right? You need to memorize them and know them as a man. And as a good woman, she will do the same for you. And in that, as a good man, you will want to hear and be validated in all of her feelings. So she will always tell you how she's feeling. She will always double down. And that brings me to the next part of this definition of what this love means. If she truly loves you, she will never doubt you. A good woman will be constant in this love, and that means she will constantly never doubt you. You will be sad, you will be broken, you will argue, you will have tension, you will have moments where you as a man will give up, right? Because we are not perfect and we are failures in life, right? And we work towards to not be failures, but we fail, right? You can never have victory if you're not failing, because you'd have nothing to compare it to. So we are failures. And she, as a woman, a good woman, a loving, good woman, will see that you're failing. And instead of running away or giving up, forcing you as a man to just break yourself to fight for her, while she doesn't bother fighting for herself to even talk to you, a good woman will recognize this, recognize the effort, recognize the pitfalls if she left and let you to your own hell. She would come in and reassure you. She will double down. She will triple down. She will quadruple down. She will go down 1,000 times for you. It doesn't matter how many times you doubt yourself. It doesn't matter how many times you feel like it's falling apart or like you want to run away. She will support you, because a good, loving woman who is constant in her love will submit to you no matter what. It doesn't matter if she's on her period. It doesn't matter if she's having a bad day. And it doesn't matter if she's experiencing loss or she's happy or she's sad. She will double, triple down no matter what. If you want to be a good man, you need to want a good woman who will do anything in her power to hold on to you. She will never give up on you. And that is the most important thing to me, is someone who will not give up. Because I've spent my whole life learning to never give up on someone. And now I'm sitting here doing all this work for someone because I don't want to give up on them. And all I ask in for return is to have that person not give up on me. I want that good woman who will love and cherish me and communicate, and I'll address that a bit later because that's very important, and love me unconditionally, right? We all make mistakes. We all have problems, right? But you can't give up, right? I might say the wrong thing. I might do something incorrectly, right? As a good man, I will do everything in my power to try and be perfect, but sometimes we are not perfect. That's what makes us imperfect. That's what makes us failures in life. Because we all want to be perfect, yet we can't. So, in realizing this, a good woman will understand that and do everything to double down and triple down. The same way, if a girl comes to you and says, like, your girl, you're a beautiful woman, and she says, I'm ugly, you will tell her, no, don't be unwise, you are the most beautiful, and then you'll go on and compliment her on all her beauty. And she'll say, no, I'm ugly, and you'll say no, and you'll double down, and you'll go into more detail, right? My partner once told me that she wasn't beautiful and that she was ugly. And I told her, no, you have the most beautiful hair, no matter what color it is. What's so special is that it's hers, and it reflects her identity and how beautiful she is. And her hazel eyes just glowed. And the amount of detail that I could see with them illuminated me and allowed me to find purpose in her. and her smile and her laugh and her giggle and so much more. And I can go on for the rest of my life, and even so on into eternity in heaven. I will go on in how beautiful she is. Find a woman who will do that for you. Not necessarily in that specific example, but she will always double down and go down further for you. She will take the hit. She will take the step the same way you as a man will take the hit for her. She will submit to you. She will let herself be yours and be loyal to you and submit to you as a man, as an aspiring good man. She will aspire to submit to you and to let herself be yours, so that way she may take the hit and be vulnerable for you and express her love to you. No matter how many times you feel like you are unloved, she will always remind you that you are loved. Because as a good man, I believe as a man, you should have expectations for yourself higher than others, but you should also have an equal set of expectations for your partner. And if you're willing to put the pressure on yourself to always care and double down for others, she should do that for you. That would be a good woman who is always willing to be loving, who is constant in her love. And the reason why I had mentioned communication earlier is because this is only possible through communication. You can only have this level of understanding if you're communicating. And you can only communicate at this level of understanding if you're at this third tier of awareness. Highly recommend you watch it. You need to have that understanding and appreciation to communicate. You have to. There's no choice, no other option. If you want to have these conversations where she can do everything that makes you feel good, and you can do everything that makes her feel good, and you're getting better and she's getting better, you need that communication, because without it, it's imperfect. Right? Remember, we want to be perfect. And let me tell you, it's possible to have that perfect relationship. And you could be thinking, Nolan, you're talking about all these good things and then you're saying you make mistakes. How is that perfect? Well, if you're in a good relationship with this perfect woman, this godly woman who is constant in her love, then it doesn't matter if you make mistakes, because that will make you stronger. If you have an argument and then talk it out and love each other and grow and become better humans, and you learn to love better as a man and she learns to love better as a woman, and you resolve your issues and grow, you have a stronger relationship. If you have some tension and some fears and you overcome those fears, right? Like going to school or going to college and then coming back and then meeting and setting goals and loving each other more and being more appreciative, then you're in a better spot. That's literally the perfect relationship. Something good happens, you're in a better spot. Something bad happens, you're in a better spot. It doesn't get more ideal than that. That is all I want. Deep down in the bottom of my heart, all I want is a good woman who will fight for me, because all I want to do, all I'm doing out here is fighting for her. And again, finally, you have to have that priority. No matter how you're feeling, no matter how bad you are, you need to have that priority. As a man, I'm pushing all my effort to this one person. I will leave school, leave my family, all my friends, everything for that one person. I'm serious. I'm only here because of them. I'm only working hard because of them. There is no Nolan's future or Nolan's life, right? If a girl tells me, oh, go live your life, my life is with you, right? There is no my life that I'm going to go live. It's dedicated to you. Like, you understand that? As a good man or aspiring good man, you should have that dedication to this person. There is no life you're going to live. You live it with a woman. That is how you are pure. That is how you are living this perfect life. You can't fill it with nonsense. You need to fill it with somebody, not some things, right? Anything will not be as much as something, someone, right? That's why it's called someone. Anything can be generic. Someone is what's important. That is the one thing you should care about, is a person. That is what will lead you. A good person, and that's why I'm talking about having a good woman, right? Because if you want to be aspiring good man, you gotta have this good woman. And only when you are a good man, which I pray for, then you can be deserving of that good woman. And additionally, goodness me, that is all necessary through communication. And I'm sure some of you could be offended about me talking about, oh, a woman should still care for you and have that conviction towards you even during periods or sad times. And I understand, as a man, you should be very familiar with periods in women. This is a bit of a discussion for another video, and some of you may be offended by it, but they almost own women sometimes. That's a bit of a weird thing to say, but you'd be surprised how impactful they are. I learned firsthand, seeing it in a relationship, how hurtful they can be, how painful they are, and how as a man you have to double down and care for them. But a good woman in those moments will be vulnerable, feminine, and allow you to care. She will let the superhero man come in and scoop in and save her in those moments, she will say, I'm hurt. It's that time of the month. Can you come over and hug me? And the man will come over and, without her asking, buy chocolates and flowers and whatever food she wants and care for her and love her and tell her and double down. I'm hurt. I love you. You're so special. Not saying anything. I will love you. You're so special. Give her hugs. Give her kisses. Double down. And in those moments where the man is upset and the man is vulnerable, she will do the same, because that's what makes a good woman. And that will make a perfect partner. And it's a shame that so many good women are taken advantage of nowadays. So many women with the potential of being this perfect, idealized person, and they're met with these horrible men who take advantage and cheat on them. And it pisses me off, because I want to be that good man so much, but the world is full of degenerate boys who will ruin that for the rest of us. I guess there's not too much more to explore regarding this topic. I could talk about it for all day, but my poor phone is going to overheat and blow up. So I don't think I could. But if you'd like for me to keep on going, I could make a part 2. I love talking about this stuff. I'm very passionate about it. I think the whole purpose of life is to be with someone and not something. And I think we should be chasing goals with people, especially someone who's very important, rather than some other BS, right? I've learned I'm never going to give up on that person. Never. I'm never going to give up on anyone or anything. And you're going to find so much value and happiness and pursuit and fulfillment when you're focusing on not giving up on someone. So I guess as a man, you should realize, don't give up. Don't give up on someone. Work on yourself. Become an amazing man who's worthy of it. And wow, you will be so grateful. And it is so beautiful. Nothing is on this planet is more beautiful and pure than a feminine woman. Seriously. Nothing is more precious and pure than a feminine woman who will care for you. And I mean that. Seriously. One thing I wish everyone in the world can know is just how beautiful it is for that femininity. And I pray every night that I might be privileged to have that in my life again someday when I'm worthy of a man enough. My name is Nolan T. Painter, and thank you very much for watching.